Somaliland got its independence in 1960. 5 days after its independence, it voluntarily agreed to join Somalia. The objective was that French Somaliland, that is Djibouti was part of Somaliland. The French Somaliland and main Somalia and the Ogaden region west of Ethiopia, they will all get together and they will form a greater Somalia. This was the objective of their joining Somalia. Now, immediately after that, what happened was that the Somalilanders, they started feeling aggrieved. They were sidelined in jobs, in allocation of budget. Everywhere, Somalia had started sidelining them. But I think that could also have been avoided. But what the worst was when General Saad Barre came in 1969.
Yes.
He came there, and then we had this Hargeisa Holocaust in 1987-88, in which 200,000 Somalilanders were killed. Now, you must also realize that Somalilanders are basically they belong to one tribe, that is the Isaac tribe, and they have the Isaac genocide which took place under Saad Barre. So there was a resentment, and then there came the Somali national movement which emerged in the north, and they wanted to go for independence. They wanted to have independence. They wanted to break away from the main Somalia and form their own government, and it had the support of the elders within the country.
How about external factor involved in making of the Somaliland or its movement?
No, there was no external factor. No. This Somaliland movement was purely internal. It was because of the grievances of the Somalilanders which they faced from the main Somalia. Somalia, in fact, there was a UN report of 2001 which said that genocide was carried, planned and perpetrated by the Somali government against the Isaac people of Somaliland. This was UN report of 2021. So you see, you very much understand how the Somalilanders believe. And
so it was already simmering.
It was simmering.
So Somaliland leadership hobnobbed with Israel, or,
no.
or it was the other way around.
That's a different thing. That's that was far way off. Immediately after Saad Barre, I think in 1991 he was removed, and he went.
No, I'm talking of the latest situation.
But now, as far as the latest situation is concerned, you see, when the present president, his name is Abdul Rahman Muhammad Abdullahi, when he became the president in last year, and you see, Asif, last year when elections were held, there were 5 countries only in Africa in which opposition leader became the president or the prime minister or the head of the government, and Somaliland was one of them. And this shows how strong democracy is in Somaliland. So when this gentleman became the president, he sent letters to at least 40 presidents asking them to recognize Somaliland. You see, all the presidents before him, his predecessors, they have been asking the world to recognize them. And Israel was one of the countries which he had sent the letter.
But I'll come to this African Union's part later.
Yes, I wanted to raise one issue which I am still struggling to understand. For the last more than 3 decades, this autonomous region or an independent country or a sovereign country, Somaliland, was struggling to get international recognition, but it could fail to even get one recognition from any neighboring country.
It couldn't elicit
or
support.
Regional country or at the international level.
Yeah.
What happened last week that Israel took that decision to sign a decree to extend recognition to the state of Somaliland.
So here comes the Middle Eastern politics, I think.
So I think while we are discussing historical aspects, Imran should also discuss this issue. Why Somaliland failed to get international recognition during the last 3 decades?
See, Somaliland has been, since their independence, it's 1991, they have been asking the international community to recognize them because they have all the aspects, all the trappings. They have their own government, they have their own legislature, they have their own passport, they have their own state bank, they have they have the permanent boundary, everything which is required of
they are functioning as a full-fledged government.
They are functioning as a full-fledged government. They have representative offices in umpteen number of countries, and countries like UK, US, Japan, Turkey. Turkey has a consulate general in Hargeisa. So these countries have their representative office. Taiwan has a representative office now.
Taiwan has representative office in many countries of the world.
It has in Somaliland also. Now, Asif, main objection was the African Union. African Union says that, and the Africans, that if we allow this separation to happen, this secession to take place, there are other secessionist movements, separatist movements in Africa, and at the moment there are 22 active secessionist movements in Africa, starting from Morocco, going down there. So they are all there. One thing. Second thing, they say that the colonial boundaries should not be changed. I think that even does not carry weight, because what Somaliland is saying, that they are not asking for a redrawing of the boundaries. They are saying that give us we had voluntarily agreed to
join Somalia.
Now we want our independence back. So they are not changing the boundaries. They are just going back to the old boundaries.
You think they are justified?
I believe they are justified. You see, they have everything, Asif. They have suffered. Somaliland has suffered at the hands of Somalia, right? They are not redrawing the colonial boundaries. They are not drawing the boundaries of Africa. So my belief, I may be wrong. I mean, everyone has the right to view. My belief is that Somaliland, when they ask for independence, they have a right. It's a functioning democracy. You see, 1991, when Somalia was bleeding, when there was a civil war taking place, Somaliland was moving towards democracy. They were strengthening democratic institutions. They were strengthening democracy within their own country. So it is a country which has all the trappings for an independent government or independent state.